What's good, fam? Welcome back to another episode of Camping with Coleman. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and we're gonna head into the man cave here. Man cave on the pink door. Anyways, today we're doing an unboxing. I got something in the mail that I've been wanting to pick up for a while now. The mailman brought it yesterday. I was gonna try to unbox it yesterday. Actually, it was the day before yesterday. I don't even remember anymore now. All my days are running together. But anyways, it's here. We're gonna go ahead and unbox it. So, yeah, let's get into it. Oh snap, look what we got here. Everybody's probably expecting this. You guys knew I was gonna have to pick one of these up. I mean, being like the Axial fanatic that I am, I love my Axial stuff. I got a nice collection of Axial trucks going, and I am planning on keeping it going. So, the newest addition to the Axial family is this bad boy right here. This is a trail-proven off-road performance SCX10 2. This is the new version of the Jeep Wrangler. This is the Unlimited CRC edition. I am super stoked on this. Basically, yeah, we're just gonna do a quick unboxing, man. I want to get into it. It's not gonna stay this Jeep. I'm just gonna let you guys know right now. I already have plans for this. I'm going to turn it into something else. But we're gonna go over this. We're also gonna talk about a few things, including all of the riffraff going on online. If you guys are on Facebook or Instagram, then I'm sure you've seen a lot of people complaining, oh, not another Jeep Wrangler. Well, it's okay. We're gonna go ahead and dig into that a little bit today. So let's do it. Alright, you guys, now the fun part, let's dig into this. Looks like all the goodies are going to be underneath here, so let's just go ahead and pull those out now. The radio, flip it like this. I got this all backwards. Come on, man. Alright, you guys, here it is. This is the new Axial AX90060. This is the new SCX10 Jeep Wrangler CRC edition Rubicon. I'm not sure if it's a Rubicon or a limited Rubicon. I don't even know if that's a thing, but this is it. It is here. Let's get it off this stupid little box, man. I want to see this thing sitting here. There we go. There she is, looking good, brand new. This thing is nice. You gotta do the
official tire squishing. Suspension pressing. Flexing.
Alright, so now that we finally got it out of the box, let's take a closer look at this Jeep. First up, I'm just gonna do kind of like I do with Scale Wars. My first impression is I think it looks great. The proportions are on point, way better than they ever were before, especially with the XJ. The XJ I felt was just, it was really great, but the body was just kind of lackluster for me. And you guys know me personally, I'm not a Lexan guy, so this will most likely get swapped out here fairly soon. But as it sits right now, I think it looks great. There's a lot more detail immediately popping out to me. One thing that I do see that's missing that's kind of bugging me is the fact that there's not an interior in it. Even if it was just a two-dimensional sort of interior like they did with the last JK, I would have been really happy with that. Now, another thing that I feel like they could have it would have been fairly easy to do and would have made this look a lot better, would have been to take the JRC roof rack and somehow mold that to fit this, or maybe just make a new roof rack to fit this from another company, get a licensed one. I know that's easier said than done, obviously, but it's just my personal thoughts, because that would have been a way for them to naturally, from the factory, hide these top body mounts, which is a big issue for me and many other builders out here. Now, it just helps the scale builders get into the more scale visual scene without having to do a whole lot. Now on the front here, people could easily hide these, you know, by doing a couple of mods I've talked about in other episodes. But just that interior and the roof rack, I think would have really set this off. Another thing missing, I feel, is a spare tire. I think Axial's done great in the past by adding a spare functional tire to some of their rigs. I think it would have been great on this as well, just to have that mounted off the back. Or maybe even up top on the roof rack. That would have just looked awesome, just coming from the factory, and it probably wouldn't have required them to raise the price a whole lot. But that's just my thoughts. That's the only negative I see so far. Now let's talk about a lot of the positive. For me, the positive would be A, proportions. The proportions are just spot on. B is going to be tires. These new Nittos are absolutely phenomenal. The feel on them, the sidewall strength, I mean, they feel like they're nice and strong. They're nice and narrow, which is what I like. Good bite on the tread. They just look great, and they're not oversized, which is just, well done, Axial. Well done on that. Also, these new Kmc Wills, these are actually official licensed machete wheels. I love these things. These are basically matte black machetes, and I don't know if you guys have seen them in real life, but I really like these. So what else? Another thing that I'm noticing is on the body, there's a lot more detail. The hood, way more detailed, aftermarket almost. The mirrors look good, lots of molded in features. Graphics are not overdone. They're nice and I don't want to say professional, but they're nice and tidy. They're not just gaudy, just slapped on there. You know, I think of Monster Energy when I think of that. Sorry, no offense to Monster, but I like that they have, you know, sponsors in the back window, just like it should be. I like that they blacked out this rear quarter panel, like it's actually got some protection on there. I just feel that this is empty back here. I would have liked to see a lot more going on back here. A spare tire would have been great. Other than that, yeah, it looks good, man. There's winch mount would have been awesome right here, but this is sturdy enough. You can get a winch on there, no problem. Easy mod to do. The fenders are another thing I really like. These fenders are perfect, man. They're spot on. They're not too wide. They're not gaudy looking. They don't stick out, you know, and overlap over the wheels too much. They look proper. Oh, another thing too, these body capture rock sliders, major points for this. They actually do catch the body. There's a little slit in here where the body falls right into place, and I think that's awesome. Great addition right there, well thought out. Just good ingenuity. Now underneath, it looks basically the same. I do know the transmission's different, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that, but I just want to check underneath. I don't see anything too crazy different under here. Basically looks the same as the XJ. Let's go ahead and get the body off on this. Oh yeah, light kit. So there's something I forgot about. Let's unplug that. All right, so the light kit, that is, oh, there's another one. Okay, so plugged in 2 locations then. That is awesome. Pre-wired light kit. So you have your tail lights are wired up, and you've got your headlights, and it looks like running lights already wired up. That is just sweet. Definitely a fan of that. Nice and clean wiring too. You know, a little tape would probably tuck that in, you know, and keep it from getting caught on anything, but very simple, clean. I like that. Now let's look here underneath this bad boy. Naturally, you have your warnings here, everybody. You know, if you're new to lipos and stuff like that, you definitely want to read this. Now, the layout is very similar to how it was on the XJ. It looks exactly the same, actually. The one thing that looks different, though, is this transmission, and I'm very, very, very eager to get into that. This transmission is all metal gears, so no more plastic metal gear, no more plastic gears, period. No more, none of that. You get the metal gears right from the factory now. I'm extremely excited about that. On another episode, we'll take this apart and go through this transmission thoroughly. I'm just super excited about this. So very, very, very smart move on Axial's part, because these AR44 axles are already very tough from the factory. From my experience, I haven't broken any yet, but I have heard of people blowing out the lockers. There's already aftermarket upgrades out there for that. There's aftermarket gears. So the axles are great and easy to build up. But the transmission coming, I mean, anyone knows that these trucks are going to have a lot of pressure being put on those gears from binding. Sorry about that, guys. Battery died on me in the middle of my sentence there. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, so anyways, basically, for anyone that's been doing scale trailing or just RC rock crawling or rock crawling in general for any amount of time, they're going to be well aware of the fact that binding these vehicles up is just, you know, par for the course. It's just something that's going to happen. Shocking the drivetrain is something that's going to happen. You know, wear and tear on the gears is going to happen. Lots of weight being added to these. It does happen to some of them. So that being said, you can expect these transmissions, these axles, differentials, you know, lockers, whatever, to all experience a tremendous amount of strain, stress, and just abuse in general. So having plastic gears has always been one of the major downfalls of buying an Axial product, because, you know, for a long time, you get these transmissions, they had plastic gears in them, or they would have a plastic gear in them, depending on what model you were getting. And it would be the first thing that would give out always is either that, or back in the day they used to come with the plastic links, and those plastic links would just bend and warp out like butter in no time. So I have got to say, personally, I am super excited to see the changes in this new SCX10 too, especially coming from where I come from. I am one of the OGs when it comes to running Axial products. I've been running them since day one, since back in, you know, when they first switched over from being a nitro engine manufacturing company to being a RC rock crawling company, and they released their first AX10 Scorpion. I had a Scorpion RTR. It was... I know all about the changes that they've made, and I know what you guys are talking about. A handful of you guys are, you know, I think you're actually kind of spoiled when it comes to this RC scene. If you're old school, you know that when companies come out with new products, that's exactly what happens, is they just revise that product and try to make it better. Right? Unless it's a completely broken product that doesn't sell, then there's no point in doing away with it and creating something all new. Instead, what they do is they literally just search for improvements. They do R&D, research and development, and they find improvements. What really needs to be improved? What are the weak points? What is the market after? Right? So lots of things that I've seen online is people saying, oh, this is just a rehashed SCX10. There's nothing different. Well, there is a lot of differences. This entire transmission case is different. I know at first glance it just looks like, oh, it's the same thing, it's just silver now. But it's not. It's completely different. It's got lots of detail added to it. The Spur gear cover, it's all molded in. It's one piece now. It goes all the way around. It's insane. The only thing that pops off is the actual cover on the front side, but the back side of it's all molded in. It's not bolted in anymore. Now, could they do a complete hard body, full interior, complete light kit, 6-channel setup with, you know, metal bead locks and metal axles and all that stuff right from the factory? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would it sell? I'm sure it would sell. Is it something that everybody's gonna want? No. Maybe for a little bit of time. I don't know. But is it necessary for them to do that? is it smart from a marketing perspective or from a business perspective to do that? Absolutely not. No, it's not. That's not what they're here for. They're here for the scale builders. Axial is here for scale builders. I'm sorry, but that's what they've always been here for, is for the builders. They create platforms that are simplistic, reliable, they are easy to modify, have a huge aftermarket support system, and you can literally retrofit or adapt almost any type of body to them. So the tunability is phenomenal on these. Now, me personally, I don't want to go buy a pre-built vehicle. That's not what I'm looking to do. I don't want to buy a pre-built, all-finished vehicle where the only things I can do to make it mine is maybe paint it. You know, that's what else? I don't know. That's not what I'm after. I want to take something that's reliable and I want to build it up. So that's what I'm here to do. I like to build my stuff up. I like to start with something that's reliable so I can take this as it sits, strip off the non-essential parts that I'm not going to need, like, say, these body mounts, right? I'm not going to use those. You guys watch Scale Wars, then you know I'm not going to use those. Those, gone. These plastic bumpers, maybe depends on what body I go for. But knowing me, I'm going to use a hard body. I already have it picked out. So knowing what body that is, these, no, I'm not going to use them. Gone, gone, right? Now, another thing I like to do, my ESP anti-spur stuff. So my battery's probably not going to sit right here, right? My battery's probably going to sit somewhere else, and this transmission's going to get stripped down, turned around, and modified to run my anti-spur kit. What else? That's really it. I mean, at that point, I can start doing body work to it, add my body and do my custom modifications, make the suspension to scale if it needs to be. If the vehicle I'm building comes with coilovers, then whoop-de-whoop, I'm going to run coilovers. If it comes with leafs, then I'm going to do a conversion. So that's what I like. I like to build. And I know these axles are going to be reliable. I know they're going to perform well. I know they've got upgrades if needed. I know this chassis is easy to work with. It's completely tunable, tons of functionality. I know this transmission is going to be reliable, and now that it comes with metal gears, it's extremely reliable. I have nothing to worry about at all. I know people that run the old transmission still with the plastic gears. So that being said, I'm extremely excited about this. As far as other things, obviously it's got the new AE5L ESC, so it has a light kit built in with leads coming out. You can literally just plug the lights right into this now. That's a win. Condenses the amount of stuff you have going on here, and also frees up a channel on the radio so you don't have to run your lights off your radio. Or you can run extra lights now off your radio, like light bars or things of that nature. Standard Tactic ESC. What else do we got going on here? It's got the 35-turn brushed motor. You know, just this simple basic stuff. Comes with Dean's plugs. And I think it's great. I think it's good right out of the box. I don't really think there's a lot that needs to be done for most people. If you want to hide these body posts, that's a real easy thing to do. This comes with body capture rock sliders now, so it's going to hold the body in place, and you can literally, while it's holding it in place, you can figure out other ways to build brackets and mounts and stuff, and the body's right where you need it already. So therefore, you don't have to hold it and try to measure or get things to hold it in place while you figure out bracket measurements or things of that nature. This is a killer. Actually, matter of fact, you could just do brackets. Its body capture sliders are right here. You could just do brackets that bolt to the side of it. I mean, it's already so much easier to modify. Anyways, that being said, you guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. I think that this is a great addition to the Axial fleet. For those of you saying it's just another Jeep, in case you haven't noticed, I caught wind myself. There was a leak. There are other bodies being produced. I heard that there's a Blazer body and some other stuff in the works, so possibly a new return of the Trail Honcho or a new Trail Honcho. Really excited about that. That being said, you guys, I'm going to go take a shower. I haven't even showered yet today. I've just been doing this. I'm going to go get cleaned up, charge up a battery pack, and I'm going to go hit some trails and get some footage of this thing getting ran through its paces. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you know what to do, man. Subscribe. Hit the little bell so you get the notifications, because I upload at random. I try to keep a schedule, but you know, it's hard. And be sure to leave me a rating, whether it's a like or a dislike. Leave a rating. You know, if you like what I do here, come back around. You know, I do this often. And I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna get up out of here. Peace and chicken grease, fam. I'll see you on the trails. Yeah.